to 50, 70 to 55, something like that. So, I think Baylor, turns off the dogs with 5 minutes left, and this is one of those easy blowouts. So that's the way I'm going to lean on this one. I think that's what I'm going to take.
That's about the only chance West Virginia has to keep this thing close, is if Baylor does call off the dogs. I think one of the things I like to look at, especially in the Big 12, is West Virginia is such a long travel distance from some of these schools. So definitely a team that I like to kind of back at home, and a team that I like to fade on the road. So that kind of plays into this a little bit too, where I think Baylor's showing some value.
Fantastic, man. Well, I'm glad we're on the same side, and pretty much most of these minus the Louisville one. So that's great. Want a quick mention, weird things happened, and it's Duke versus Syracuse. I know I didn't throw this out to you, but it's just very strange. You heard what happened to Jim Boeheim this morning. He killed a guy, in his car. Yeah. It was by accident, and what's that mean? Is he going to be, for me, I'd be devastated, even though it's not my fault, but I'd replay it in my head, and the players got to be feeling for him. And then you have Duke with Zion out. You saw how terrible they played with Williamson out against North Carolina, but at the same time they haven't been hitting their threes either. Now they're going to Syracuse, and they're in a revenge spot. Syracuse beat them this year at home, but I think I just wanted to throw that game out there because there's just it's just a lot of strange angles on this. Syracuse should be getting about 6 or 7 points, maybe even a little bit less now, but over-under is going to be about 145. I think if I was going to bet this, and I haven't thought too much about it, I'd almost have to say Syracuse. Maybe the team rallies behind Jim Boeheim. Have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to have to wait for more info on, just because there's so many uncertainties behind it, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't catch much on the latest with Zion and his injury update. I imagine he's not going to play here. So that is going to come into effect. He definitely is worth a few points on the point spread. The weird stuff with Boeheim. So some other guy got out of the car, right? Because he was already in an accident, and then Boeheim kind of came up, and it's just a rough deal. I don't know. That's something that I don't know how I'd react to. Not well. No. I know that. So, how do you focus? You certainly aren't going to be able to prepare very well against this team, and it's a team that you're going to need some preparation for. And the revenge angle for Duke there, I don't know. It's this one's definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on and circle it for Saturday morning when I can read a little bit more about it and have a better idea of what's going to take place.
Yeah, either a 5-star bet or a 0.
Right, exactly. You're gonna feel like an idiot either way, right? Like you either missed out on the lock of the year, or else you got suckered into a complete sucker bet.
Exactly, but I had to bring it up because of those two crazy things that kind of happened this week.
Yeah.
So
that was nuts.
Thought I'd throw that out there, my man. Well, is there anything else that you want to bring up? Any other games that you looked at, or
nothing I've kind of got into for the weekend yet. The NBA was on break, right? So tonight's the first night back.
Right.
I kind of been prepping to get back into the player props. I do a lot of player props just for free on my Twitter account at Boyd's Bets, and I had to get that all set up and running again. Kind of ran some more numbers to see where we're going to go there. I put off the weekend college basketball handicapping a little bit. Didn't get much of a chance to look ahead.
Well, that's fine, man. But how could our listeners benefit from a lot of your handicapping expertise? Do you have any package deals for them?
Yeah, so I offer a lot of free stuff just on the Twitter account at Boyd's Bets. You can check me out there. I release, some free games every day. Kind of later in the day, if there's some late releases where the lines move to where I like them, I just throw them out on there. I do the player props on there for the NBA. If anybody's interested in player props, that's all free. Just kind of take a look. Those have had a nice ROI so far this season, about 7% over 1,000 plays. So definitely some value there. And then the premium stuff, you can find me at boydsbets.com. /Jimmy Boyd, is where you can find me there. Most of the packages or whatever are pretty affordable. And that's where I put my best sides and totals, mostly sides for college basketball. Any listeners that contact me on Twitter, I can hook them up with a free $60 credit to give it a shot, give it a try this weekend.
Well, that is fantastic. All right, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast. Learned a lot today. Love your articles. Love the website, my man. Have a fantastic weekend, and best luck on your bets.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks for having me on and tear it up this weekend.
All right, we had Jimmy Boyd. You can tweet him at Boyd's Best. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you have any questions, you can always tweet us at the Odds Breakers. Have a great weekend and go get some wins.